You gotta appreciate an oak tree that's that big. Look at the size of that sucker. So I'm just gonna hang up another trail camera here. Look how round that freaking thing is. It's enormous. He's got to be a couple 100 years old. Doesn't even do it justice. Look how big that tree is. Look at it compared to me in the shot. Oh, the sun. Look how large it is. It's got to be right at the base of the ground. It's got to be 10 foot around. It's enormous. That is enormous. He was probably here during the Civil War. He's probably a lot smaller then though. Alright, let's go hang up our other camera. Okay. Let me catch my breath. Here we are, making my way, cutting a trail to one of my stands. Machete in hand. It's a zombie machete, of course, in case I run into any zombies in the corn. I'm working along the edge of the woods, you can see behind me here, and the cornfield, and it is thick. And it's brutal hot. The corn retains so much humidity and the moisture, the heat coming off it is like, wow. You can see here I'm clearing a trail along the edge of the field here that I can walk quietly to the stand. I'm going to have 2 or 3 different trails leading into the stand because I don't want the wind to, go past with the area where the deer are going to come from when I'm walking into the stand. That's just you're going to waste your time. Because if you approach a stand that you're going to hunt, if you approach it, upwind of where the deer are going to be, and that wind is going to carry your scent right to where the deer are, they ain't going to go anywhere near that stand. So it's very important to watch that and pay attention to that. You all right? So you gotta hunt the stand when the wind direction is correct. That's why you put up multiple stands. You wait and hunt that stand when the wind direction is correct. So when the wind is blowing away from where the deer are going to come from, where you think the deer are going to come from, of course they can change their mind and come from any direction they want. But you got to watch the prevailing wind for that stand and then hunt it when the wind is in your favor, not in the deer's favor. Nothing will blow a hunt quicker than the deer bedded down 100 yards from your stand and that wind is blown directly to him. He knows you're there before he even gets out of the bed, and he will not come that way. I had seen a good tip recently on a channel that I watched where the guys were setting up stands, and they were using trail cameras to watch when the deer were coming into the stands. Of course, everybody's using trail cameras. But what they were doing is studying the weather from the Weather Channel and watching the prevailing wind for that day, when the date and the time when that picture was taken. So sometimes those, especially the bigger bucks, they would only move in that area when the wind was blowing a certain direction. So it's just another way to pattern the deer, is to check the direction of the wind and see when they're using that stand in what direction the wind is blowing, because sometimes they're going to try and use the wind in their favor. They want the wind coming into their face so they can detect danger early as possible. But that's a good tip. That's a good tip. You don't want to be busting deer out of a spot before you even get there. And this is 2 weeks even before the archery opener for me here in Northeast PA. So lots of work. I mean, you can see from my other videos, I've been doing work on this spot all year long, pretty much. Trimming shooting lanes, making sure you could see from the stand, making sure I didn't have brush in the way of a good shot. Figuring out trails to get into the stand, because the property was so overgrown. It was a lot of work, but hopefully it's going to pay off. All right, let's get back to work. Okay, finally we made it. See my stand? It's right there. See here, I cleared a lot of this area underneath the stand, so I have some clear shooting lanes. This side is still corn, but that's probably going to be up till halfway through gun season, probably. I'm here, I'm just going to make sure all my lanes are clear. There's a trail camera here. I have got a lot of pictures of good bucks here. This is a good travel way. That's why I'm doing this early, doing it in the midday where the deer are not going to be moving, even though it's hot as hell. And do it as quick as I can, get in, get out, as little disturbance as possible. I'm going to check my wind here when I'm here at the stand. The wind is actually coming from over my shoulder. It's coming this way, across that way, which is good. I can get away with a little bit of a crosswind that way here. Or if the wind is blowing directly this way, that's fine because the deer are going to come from that way. So that's pretty good for me. And the prevailing wind is that way anyway. But the corn here breaks the wind. It has a tendency to, if I'm up in the tree stand and I use a little puffer, a smoker, to see which direction the wind is going, the wind actually goes up and then up through the trees, and then it could go 100, 200 yards before that scent starts to fall again. So, all right. Okay. What are you doing? You looking for deer? He's pretty well look at the camouflage. You ready for honey? All right, back to work. We'll get this done and get out of here. Okay, my last stand. Look at. Sarge, what are you doing? You see any deer? Hunting dog. He loves waiting on the tree stands. You can see here's my last stand. This is the stand I shot that buck from last year, and it was very overgrown. This year I have a line this way. I have a line to this side, out that way. I have a line this way where the deer are traveling along the edge of the corn. You can see out here, I've got lines down through the woods here too that are clear that I can shoot. It's hot. Alright, it's time to pack this up and go. Another tip I'll give you about trimming stands. You have to get up in the stand and look and see, make sure you have clear lanes from the stand, because when you're looking at it from the ground, you can have limbs that are in your way that are higher up. Don't forget you're 15, 20, 25 feet up in the stand. You're looking down. So when you're on the ground, your perspective is not the same. So you have to look and see what limbs are in your way, and don't clear all the limbs out of your way. Clear just enough. Like, see here, I have limbs behind me that break up my silhouette so the deer can't outline me. That's why I didn't cut any limbs that were directly in front of me here. Because if you look this way, the hill goes up this way, so the deer are coming over the top of the hill. They're right at my eye level. Whereas behind me, they're 40 feet below me because the hill goes down this way. So I don't want the deer coming over that hill, especially when all the corn is gone, and looking right in my face. They'll come down across the soybean, down into the valley, down into the cut out here. That's the way I want them to go. Or directly up beside me here where I have a clear side shot. But like I said, I don't want them coming over the crest of the hill and being directly at my eye level, looking right at me when they come over the hill. That's what's tough about setting up a tree stand that's, on the slope of a hill. But yeah, clear brush that's higher up. And don't clear it out. Just clear little lanes where you have specific shots, because you don't want to remove too much cover, and you don't want to do it all in one go. You want to do a little bit, come back, do a little bit, come back, do a little bit. Also, don't leave the brush that you caught laying around under your stand. It's noisy. It might obstruct a deer path that and they won't use it then. So don't leave it where you cut it. Just pick it up and move it away from your stand location. I was lucky enough that there's a big dead fallen tree here that's next to this stand where there used to be an old stand, and I piled all the sticks and limbs and stuff in there. So it mixes up with the rest of that dead tree. But another tip as well is I have cleared a path from the edge of the corn where I'm going to approach this stand. I'm going to come in from that side. If it's on the field edge, it's no big deal. But if your stand is in the woods and there's a lot of small limbs and sticks and stuff underneath your stand, clear a path with no sticks, no brush, anything laying in it, just dirt, that you can come in and walk in pitch dark, that you can walk in and know you're going to walk in and be quiet, and you know, not be snapping twigs and crackling leaves and stuff like that trying to get into your stand, because that's a dead giveaway too. If in this situation, if the deer, say they're going to be bedded down in here, or they could be bedded in the corn either side of me, and I come in here and make a lot of noise, you know, walking into the stand, that's a dead giveaway. That's just as good as scent. Sound will travel with the wind, just as far as scent will. So clear a path that it's quiet for you to get in and out of your stand, especially in the dark. Of course, you don't really want to use, you know, flashlights and stuff getting to your stand. A red light or a green light, something that preserves your night vision, is better than a regular flashlight. Especially the red light, it doesn't spook animals too. If they catch a glimpse of it, it's the white light. It's not going to spook them away. But I think I'm pretty much done here for today. I'm hoping that either me or the landowner gets something this year. We put a lot of work in, so of course you never know. It's no guarantee. You know, don't ever be disappointed. You could have 100 pictures of deer on a trail camera, and you know, never see any of those deer in the stand. That's just how it is. That's hunting. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. It only takes 1 second for one of those bucks to step out and get a shot. You know, you could spend a week sitting in the stand. That's what happened to the landowner here last year. He sat 2 weeks in a stand on the other side of this woods here, and all he seen were does. That was it. Never seen a decent buck at all. Never seen any bucks. He only seen does. But you know, sometimes that's how it is. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. That's why you do your scouting. That's why you do your homework. That's why you do your stand preparation. Give yourself, you know, a chance. And then after that, it's up to the hunting gods. It's all luck. All right, time to pack up and go home. Get something to drink. Time to rehydrate. Come on, Bulldog. You all right? Come on, let's go. You want a drink and then we go home? Sounds like a good idea. Drinking time to go home. All right, until next time. The last tip I'll leave you with is, if you're hunting out of tree stands or ground blinds or anything else, just be safe about it. You can hear around me here, there's a highway, there's houses. So you gotta watch where you're shooting, especially if you're using high power rifles. I try not to use, you know, weapons like that in areas where there's housing or farm buildings or anything like that. You gotta pick your shots and be careful. So once that bullet goes, there ain't no taking it back. You are responsible for that round, wherever it ends up. Also, if you're hunting from a tree stand, wear your safety harness. There's no deer worth dying over or being severely injured over. It's always important to make a home to the wife and kids, or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever your case may be. Making a home is #1 priority. So be safe. Hopefully I'll get this video up before hunting season. So good luck to everybody that's going to be out hunting. And we'll see what happens during the season. Trapping's coming. Still got fishing time left. Fishing season here was a bust for me. A lot of the East Coast had really bad rain all year, all summer long. Bad flooding, bad river flooding. Lake water was high, muddy water. It's like every time I had a chance to get out, it was just terrible, just horrible. But there's always next time, right? Can't fight the weather, just gotta go with it. But all right, take care everybody, and good luck hunting.